Hey guys, this is the Actiri Magic Channel, and I'm Steve, the Actiri. Today we're going to be talking about a tried and true, really fun commander that's been popular since her release, and that is Alela, Artful Provocateur. Before we get into that, I want to shout out the Magic Table podcast that my friends and I have been producing for the last several months. The link is in the description below. Also, I want to shout out that we're going to be doing a 200 subscriber giveaway, so stay tuned for that, and I will update you all as soon as possible. Now, back to Alela. So Alela is a 4-drop, 2/3 flying Death Touch lifelink that says... Fairy Warlock. Other creatures you control flying get +1/0. Okay. Whenever you cast an artifact or enchantment spell, create a 1/1 blue fairy creature token with flying. They're blue. They fly. They smack people in the face. Okay, so what are we doing with this deck? So I saw that this is one of the more popular decks on MTGO. Not MTGO. On EDH Rec. And I thought, you know what? Let's put one out there for this lovely lady. She's very, very popular. Why not? I've already got her built. So today we're going to be talking about what we're going to be doing with her. So she's going to generate our army by casting enchantments and artifacts. So we're going to kind of minimize all of our creatures and focus on those artifacts and enchantments. We have 15 creatures in our deck, and you can certainly reduce that number and go way heavier on the artifacts and enchantments. But this is what we got today. How we're going to win, we're going to do attrition, super board presence, and looking fabulous. Just kidding. All right, so let's talk about it. So first up, our removal suite is pretty straightforward. It's things like Darksteel Mutation. It is things like, let's see what else we got here. We have got Frogify, which is also a really, really great one for getting rid of their creatures. And we also have things like Imprisoned in the Moon, which gets rid of more than just creatures. It says enchant creature, land, or planeswalker. It's a colorless land with tap, add 1 generic mana to your mana pool, and loses all card types and abilities. It's pretty great. I love that card. I actually need to go find a copy. The next thing we're going to look at is we have don't attack me, brah! We have kind of a keep your stuff away from me, brah, kind of thing going on with, we have 3 different cards that do it. We have Propaganda, which attacking creatures cost 2 generic to attack. Then we also have, where are you, buddy? Ghostly Prison, which also it costs 2 generic to attack you, the person that controls it. It does not protect your planeswalkers, so they can attack your planeswalkers for free. However, with Sphere of Safety, it says creatures can't attack you or a planeswalker you control unless their controller pays X for each of those creatures, where X is the number of enchantments you control. So this is just Ghostly Prison on steroids. I mean, I've had it in play where people are having to pay like 15 or 20 to be able to attack me. It's dumb. So really, really good. Really prevents them from doing some kind of like Splinter Twin shenanigans on you and just attacking for the win. Next up, let's talk about our toolbox, because we have a little baby toolbox in here, and we've got toolboxes for artifacts, and we have toolboxes for enchantments. So you can increase the number of search your library cards for artifacts or enchantments. I've only got a few in here because these are the budget versions. Number 1 is Trinket Mage, if you're familiar. It says whenever Trinket Mage enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an artifact card with converted mana cost 1 or less, reveal it and put it in your hand. Now, with that, I want to say that the cards that I really wanted to focus on are things like Pithing Needle. Where are you, Pithing Needle? Pithing Needle, if you're not familiar. When it enters battlefield, choose a card name. Activated abilities, the sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. Meek Stone is also another one that says creatures with power 3 or greater don't untap in their controllers on tap step. If we have one Anthem effect and Alela, that means that our creatures don't untap. But if we just have Alela in play, then all of our creatures are going to get to untap every turn. And so Meek Stone is really powerful whenever we don't have an Anthem effect in play. However, we can use it for a big swing, get our Meek Stone, play the Meek Stone, and now we are going to be just fine. Another one that this goes really well with is our, where did it go? Oh, Intangible Virtue, giving all of our creature tokens vigilance. So this goes pretty well with Meek Stone. Next up, let's talk about, we also have Soul Ring can be found with Trinket Mage. We have Skull Clamp This is so good. If you don't own a copy, please get at least one copy. This is such a good card. I use it in so many different decks. Then we also, and that's it for basically the converted mana cost 1 or less cards. I do want to point out that we have included some artifact lands, so you can use Trinket Mage to find Ancient Den. Let's see, where are they? Goldmire Bridge. These are the new indestructible artifact lands, and then like Mistvault Bridge and Razortide Bridge, and then we have the other basic Seat of the Synod, and then wherever the other one is, Vault of Whispers. Where are you at? Vault of Whispers. So you can use Trinket Mage to go find all those. Next up, we have Tribute Mage. Tribute Mage will find us a artifact converted mana cost 2. Reveal that card, put it in your hand. And so from there, we can get Sword of the Meek. We can get Thopter Foundry, Sword of the Meek. We can also get Swiftfoot Boots. We can get any of our signets. So we have options with this. This is really, really powerful as well. We can also get Ornithopter of Paradise, which is right here. This is a new card out of Modern Horizons 2 that taps and adds mana to our mana pool. This is also really good with Alela because it's giving our Ornithopter of Paradise +1/+0. And now we have another creature to attack with if we so choose. Then let's talk about... Gotta hurry up. We have Heliod's Pilgrim, and let's see, Heliod's Pilgrim. This will search for our library for an aura card. So of the aura cards, we have All That Glitters, Curiosity, Darksteel Mutation. So we can go use our Heliod's Pilgrim to go find those. Then we also have Zur the Enchanter, which can go find cards, enchantment cards with converted mana cost 3 or less, put them on battlefield. So we're not going to get our cast to trigger off of them, but we can go get things like Etchings of the Chosen to give all of our creatures +1/+1. And it's just really good. There's so much you can get with that. Oh, you can also get with him, you can get, where is it? Luminarch's Ascension, if you haven't played this card. It's really, really good. It pairs really well with Sphere of Safety and Ghostly Prison because we can pay 2 mana and generate 4/4 flying angels. Next up, let's talk about card draw. So the cards we have to draw are Curiosity, Enchant Your Commander, Go Swinging, Have Happiness. Next up, we have Bident of Thassa, wherever she may have gone. Bident of Thassa. Bident of Thassa is an artifact. Legendary artifact enchantment. And then we have a Reconnaissance Mission. Whenever a creature deals combat damage, you draw a card. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage, draw a card. Super great. Let's see what else we have. We have one that kind of sets us back a little bit, but it's a super budget friendly card. It's called Vampiric Rites. It's a 1-drop enchantment that says pay a black, play a generic, sack of creature, you gain 1 life, draw a card. So with all of our creatures, this one, whenever we have Alela in play, this one's going to get us a 1/1, and then we're going to be able to sack that 1/1 to draw a new card. Next up, we have Mentor of the Meek, which is here. Anytime, whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1 if you do draw a card. This is not a hard one to cut if you do not like this mechanic, because as soon as you have any kind of Anthem effect, Mentor of the Meek isn't going to work anymore. So just keep that in mind. Next up, that's our card draw. Our creatures are super light, but the creatures we have are super powerful. One of the ones I want to talk about is Thalice, Revenant Medium. This is going to basically double the number of 1/1s we're getting. However, this is only going to give us spirits, so keep that in mind. Thalice is going to give us, at the beginning of each end step, create X 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying, where X is the number of tokens you created this turn. So if we created 2 tokens with Alela, then this one's going to give us 2 more 1/1 flight white spirit creature tokens. Next up, I like Sephara. Sephara in here says you may pay a white and tap 4 untapped creatures you control with flying rather than play the spell's mana cost. Otherwise, it's a 7-drop. 7/7 flying lifelink. Other creatures you control with flying have indestructible. This is just going to make our swinging so much easier. We don't have to worry about who's going to die. Next up, we have Scion of Una. She says other fairies you control get +1/1, and other fairies you control have shrouds. This protects our commander. She also has flash, so she can turn off, or he can turn off, targeted removal. Then we also have Empyrean Angel. This is probably a more budget-friendly Anthem on a creature. effect. It's a 3-drop, 1 blue, 1 white, generic flying 2/3. Other creatures you control with flying get +1/+1. Sweet. Then we also have something to help us cast our artifacts and enchantments a little bit better. Starnheim Courser is 1 white, 2 generic, 2/2 flying. Artifact and enchantment spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. This is just good business. Not a problem at all. Now, Anthems. We have got a lot of Anthem effects. So we have Rally the Ranks. Enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures of the chosen type get +1/+1. We have Favorable Winds. Creatures with flying get +1/+1. Creatures you control with flying get +1/+1. Cathar's Crusade is the dumb one. People cut this card, even though it wins, people cut this card because of how many 1/1 counters they have to keep up with. Basically, each one of your fairies is going to be a different power and toughness, because each new one is going to add 1/1 counters to all the other creatures on the board. It gets ridiculous. So if you cut this card because of how hard it is to keep up with all those 1/1 counters, completely understand. Completely understand. It's bonkers. Next up, we have, that's not technically a Anthem effect, is Divine Visitation. If one or more creature tokens would be created under your control, create that many 4/4 angel tokens with flying and vigilance instead. Okay, this is really good. Every time we cast an enchantment or sorcery with Alela, we're going to get 4/4 angels. Just good. Etchings of the Chosen. We've already talked about this one again. It says 1 black, 1 white, 1 generic. When it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures of the chosen type get +1/+1. Pay a generic, sack a creature of the chosen type. Target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. It's super powerful to be able to protect our commander. Just saying. Gravitational Shift is a fun one. It says creatures with flying get +2/0. And creatures without flying get -2/-0. So, very cool. Makes our Alela tokens 4 1s with Alela in play, which is kind of dumb. And then we also have one of my budget picks is one of our creatures, Wingspan Mentor. This is really cool. It says when it enters the battlefield, put a flying counter on a target non-human creature you control. Don't really care about that. It says pay 1 blue, 2 generic, tap, put a 1 counter on each creature you control with flying. So all of our creatures are just getting permanently bigger. Again, this is a little bit of a pain in the butt with keeping track of 1/1 counters on all of our creatures. But it's so good. So unbelievably good. Alright guys and dolls, this has been the Act 3 Magic channel. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you guys go out there and crush some skulls. No, I mean magic. Alright guys, have a good afternoon, take care, and I'll see you on the other side. Deuces! Mr. Button.